So thanks for joining us. My name is Anthony. I am the Senior Sales Executive for Palladium, based in Joburg, and I'm going to be helped by our Senior Consultant, Support Technical Consultant, Raymond, and we're going to go through the presentation. We'll try not to bore you. Please be advised that there are a hell of a lot of features that we're going to go through. Palladium Premium has been in the making for over 2 years. We've been working on these features. We've been working really hard. Our development team has been working overtime trying to get these features up and running and out to you. And we're very happy to say that we are now ready. We'll be launching this at the beginning of next month, and it'll be available to you. And there's some really, really cool features. There's some really good features, very strong, powerful features that talk to certain industries. All of the development we've done have come from requests from either existing or potential clients who are looking for specific features. And we've developed that for them and for all of you as well. So the way we're going to work today, we've just started. So we're going to go through Palladium. What does Palladium do for you as a company? What are we trying to achieve with the companies that we work within? And where are we going to from here? And then we're going to go over Palladium Premium itself. We're going to go over Palladium Premium itself. Sorry, somebody's just unmuted their mic. Just give me a sec, please. Yeah, we're going to go over Palladium Premium and the features that have been developed and what is available. And thereafter, we will do a short presentation on Palladium Payroll, which was launched last month. A very new product for us, fully cloud-based payroll system, really, really nice, really easy to use, and very cost-effective at the moment. So basically, we're just going to give you an overview of everything that's been happening in Palladium, let you have a look and see which of the features you guys are going to be able to use. If there are features that are going to appeal to you, for those of you who are already using Palladium, you may want to consider some of these features in an upgrade. And for those of you who are joining us as potential customers, it'll just give you an indication of what Palladium does, how we do it, what our philosophy is, and give you an understanding of the enormous number of features and ERP features that are within Palladium itself. So we like to say that we are different from other accounting softwares. We are not just an accounting software. We are a business tool. In a time and in an age where the balancing of books is just not enough anymore. Companies cannot survive just on something where you're posting journals and doing financial reports. Companies are now at a stage where they need software, ERP software, resource planning software that will allow them to make better decisions, that will make sure that they're protecting their margins, that they're looking at turnover, that they're being operationally efficient. That's the kind of software that companies need. Traditionally, systems like that were only available to huge companies because they were so expensive, but that is not the case anymore. You'll see by the end of this presentation that you have access to an enormously powerful ERP system, which gives you great functionality, great reporting, at an extremely cost-effective and reasonable price. As we like to say here, your software should be a sail and not an anchor. There are still lots of legacy softwares out in the market. In fact, probably the majority of SMEs in South Africa are still using old legacy software that is run on really old, outdated and obsolete applications. A lot of them run on old VB6, Visual Basic 6, which was discontinued by Microsoft in 1998. But a huge number of accounting packages are still running on this, which lends itself to data corruptions. And also it's not flexible. So procedures, when you're using software like that, you need to gear your procedures around the software instead of the software working with you. So Palladium Business Solutions, our company, started in 2003. So we've been around for many a year. We started as an accounting company, doing accounting software primarily, but it has expanded from that. We are now a full business enablement solution. It's not just accounting software. It's not just about balancing your books. So we've been able over the last couple of years to include things like mobile field services, which is a workshop module, which allows companies to take in serviceable items. We've got an extremely strong manufacturing module. We have distribution and warehousing with big tickets. We have full projects and advanced projects with different stages in there. We do custom development. Probably one of the main features why customers stick with Palladium is the fact that we do development. A lot of these features that you see in this image are brand new features that we've developed over the last 2 years and are included in Palladium Premium. So constant development, all of the development done at customer requests. We've created an immensely powerful business intelligence and reporting tool within the system, but we also link to Microsoft's Power BI in order to create views, to create reports, publish these to the cloud, and then access them from anywhere. We have a full warehouse management system that uses Android scanners to be able to control and manage the warehouse. We've got a payroll system, which we'll be showing you a little bit later and going through. We have alerts and notifications. So we've had this for years, actually, but we have now developed our own business alerts tool, which interrogates the database and then sends notifications or alerts to people either via SMS or via email. We now we have created a Magento web store platform using Magento as the engine, probably one of the strongest web store engines that you can find. We now integrate seamlessly with that, allowing our customers to create their own web stores, to be able to create their own look and feel on the web store, and then manage it by working through Palladium. So not having to work on 2 systems, just working through Palladium and managing the web store like that. As you can see, we are a Microsoft Gold accredited partner. We are Microsoft Windows 10 certified. We're not just compliant with them, we actually have Microsoft certification for Windows 10, and we are a proudly South African company. So all of this that you see, the development that we do, is based around the fact that we want to remain relevant. We want to remain a relevant application. We want to make sure that we are giving our customers good value, that we are keeping them up to date with the best of technology, and that they have access to a constantly evolving system, not something that you buy and 5 years later is completely obsolete. And a lot of this revolves around automation. So a lot of what you're going to see and a lot of what we have been doing revolves around the whole idea that the world is changing, that we are dealing with what they say IoT, which is the Internet of Things, that applications and softwares can now speak to each other. There's machine learning, and we can automate routine tasks. So in order for us to achieve our goal, and our goal within Palladium is to ensure that people who use and companies that use Palladium will, and they use it properly, will do three things: that we will increase their turnover, we'll improve their margins, and we'll enhance their operational efficiency. So what we've looked at doing is automating routine tasks, things that slow down efficiencies, things that make it, that are more time consuming for people to do. We've looked at automating that, making it routine tasks automated so that you don't have to worry about somebody banging away at the whole thing over and over again. We've tried to manage by exception. So the way things are happening now is that as long as something's happening and it's running smoothly, then we let it run. We only manage by exception. Where something is out of the ordinary, then we get involved and have to do some physical input. But for the rest of the time, tasks that are taking care of themselves must take care of themselves. We're trying to drive behavior through real-time information reports and screen prompts. So we do things like, if somebody is selling a bicycle, we have a screen prompt that says, why don't you sell them a bicycle helmet as well? We have real-time information. Our BR system, which we'll give you, we'll show you a bit later, gives you real-time information, day-to-date information that you can use to manage your business. Things like how are sales going? What about lost sales? We are able to drive behavior by using our business alerts, which says every time somebody does cancels a stop order, it sends a message, and they have to put in a reason code as to why it's happening. So we drive behavior like that in order not to lose sales, in order to make sure that we're purchasing properly, and in order to ensure that we're selling and trying to increase our turnover wherever we can. So we have been writing features outside of the traditional accounting fraternity. We're not just writing software development changes that produce a better report or make sure that, we're trying to write features that make it easier to run your business, that prompt you and always remind you that the essentials of running a business are to achieve those three goals. So automation is the key to business transformation. And the question that you as business owners need to ask are, what are you still doing manually in your business? What are the tasks that you're just doing over and over again that could be automated, that could be made easier to do? You need to be asking yourself that, because really in this day and age, that is what is going to make the difference. That is what is going to decide whether your company is going to be very successful or not successful at all. So currently we do have automation within the Palladium system. It's something that we've been working on for ages. It's something that we've known is always going to be the cutting edge of where ERP systems go. And we have incorporated elements of automation within Palladium already, and they exist there. So we have things like switching order or invoice details with courier companies. We are able to integrate directly with courier companies so that when you are switching an order, the Waybill will print in your office, which does two things. It stops the human error of people having to phone in and give an order over the phone to the courier company. And also, by the time the guy leaves to pick up the packages, you could have done another 5 invoices. Whereas now, with switching to the courier company, as the courier walks in the door, you are able to do an order and print the way bill and give it to them there and then. So we're able to do that. We're able to do downloading orders through EDI. So companies that provide, big companies or provide supermarkets with stock are able to go in through our EDI, go into the portal of that company's SPAR or Pick and Pay, whatever it may be, and download their orders so that they're not waiting for them to be delivered. They download their own orders and are able to get that order ready and delivered within a much shorter space of time. We are able to download and import into the system Excel order forms. So when you receive order forms via Excel, you're able to put it straight into the system and create sales orders directly from that. We send invoices with statements. Now that would seem really, really obvious, wouldn't it? I mean, how often do statements get sent out to customers who owe the company money, but the invoices aren't sent with it? So what happens? You phone and you ask for your money, you ask for your payment, they'll say, oh, I never got the invoice, please send it to me. But within Palladium, you can automatically attach overdue and outstanding invoices to the statements and email it to your customers each and every month. I mean, it seems so obvious, but most systems do not have that. We have a full Promtech production management integration. For those of you who don't know, Promtech is a huge and very widely used manufacturing application, software application that manages big manufacturing processes in terms of raw materials, different lines, different volumes and amounts. It's a huge system, and we now integrate directly into Promtech, which alleviates things like errors, make sure your stock's always up to date. Very powerful integration. We are able to do related company on-hand inventories. So we are able to go into related companies or multiple companies and do intercompany transfers. We can sync with the master files. We can order stock from companies, from related companies, where you create a PO to bring stock in, and it automatically creates a sales order within the other company and facilitates the transfer of the stock to your company. POD management, very similar to sending invoices with statements, really. Palladium within has a deliveries feature where you're able to do deliveries. You're able to create a sales order, do a delivery, and then do an invoice after that. And the POD document management allows PODs that have been signed, delivery advices that have been signed, and I will go into a bit later the mobile app where you can sign to glass. So you'll be able to sign the delivery advice on a Android-powered tablet or phone, and then attach these and also send your POD documents out with your statements every month as well. And then, of course, the main one is our business alerts. So the Palladium Business Alerts team, essentially what this application does is that it stands alongside Palladium, and it looks at the SQL database, and it looks for exceptions. So where you have created rules, or you have created a rule of something that you want to see, it will interrogate the database, and every time it sees that, it'll automatically send an alert to the person who has been chosen to receive that alert. So if you want to see every time a sales order gets canceled, the business alerts tool will do that. It'll keep an eye on your SQL database, and when it sees one getting canceled, it will then send either an email directly to the manager or an SMS to their phone so that they can go and check on it. Very powerful feature, very much a means to be able to operate more efficiently So you don't have to be in the office signed into Palladium in order to be able to get information of what's happening in the company. I touched on the Magento integration. So with Magento as a platform, our customers, you guys are able to now create your own web stores directly through Magento. It automatically integrates with Palladium, and then you're able to manage that via Palladium. So this will do B2B and B2C sales, but you won't have to maintain both applications. Within Palladium, you'll be able to update your inventory. You'll be able to import images into your inventory, and it will automatically update on the web store. You're able to create different price lists, and it'll update those. And from the web store side, as soon as somebody does an order, it'll automatically pull a sales order, an SO, into Palladium and reserve the stock. So really a really cool function, really something that is very easy to use and will add a lot of value to any company. Just another way we are trying to improve businesses to ensure that our customers, Palladium's customers and Palladium users, are getting the very best and the most out of the application. So we do mobility through WMS, which is Warehouse Management System, and a mobile sales application. We had so many requests for this, and it's certainly becoming something that's not rare anymore. More and more systems are operable now on mobile applications. So our WMS, our warehouse management system, works through Android systems, can be used on Android scanners or on Android mobile phones. It doesn't matter. The sales app the same. So the sales app allows salespeople on the road to be able to do quotes, do sales orders, be able to check stock, do client inquiries, and it'll also have a functionality of geotagging, so you'll be able to monitor salespeople's actions and their position during the day as well. So we manage through exception, we manage by exception through business alerts, which I've explained, and we also have PO approvals. Purchase order approvals allows one to do a purchase requisition, and then it gets sent through to an approver who will do the approval before you can actually produce a purchase order and send it to your supplier. In terms of these approvals, we are also looking at developing approvals to the mobile app. So a manager or an approver does not need to be in Palladium in order to do the approval. It will be sent directly to their cell phone, and they'll be able to do that approval through the Palladium mobile app. Okay, so here I'm going to look at I spoke about the three key things that Palladium strives to do in all of its development, and strives to provide to our customers. And I'm going to talk around the features that speak to this prime startup. So if we look at increased turnover, the first one. So if we look at the increased turnover, which is our main criteria that we look at, we have things like smart upselling, which I explained briefly earlier. Smart upselling being able to set a related item to another item, so that every time you sell the initial item, it'll prompt you to sell the related item as well. Okay, we also have alternative items and related items. So our alternate item is if you sell a number of items that do the same job, it'll bring up those alternates and say, here are the alternates to this item. Which one would the customer like to sell? We find that this has been very valuable in some of our customers who run stationery stores, where they sell numerous items that are very similar. So they sell 10 different types of blue pen. And an alternate item was something that they recommended we do. Container management in order to increase turnover. Container management is something in certain industries which is not well managed, and it leads to massive losses. So we have a customer who sells tomatoes. I'm sure you've seen them. They sell in all the big supermarkets, and they sell them in different types of containers. So they sell them either by the pallet or by the 5 kg box or by a 1 kg packet. And however they sell them, when they're packing them, very often when they're sending those orders out, they do not remember to include the price of the pallet. So we have created the function where every time they sell 5 kgs of tomatoes, it automatically adds in a 5 kg box and includes the price on that invoice. We do deliveries to customers by weight and volume and distance, or even by fixed rate, so that you're not losing out on the cost of deliveries. You can assign a delivery method to a customer, and automatically when you invoice them, it'll include your delivery cost on those invoices. We can send brochures on the fly with sales documents on all of our sales documents and on our purchase documents. We are able to attach brochures. We are able to attach files and send it off automatically every time we email that out. Okay, very importantly, the one at the bottom says inventory forecasting and replenishments with vendor lead times. This is an extremely important feature within Palladium. It allows you to do your forecasting and ensure that you keep optimal levels of stock in the company. And it takes into account things like vendor lead times. How many days does it take for your supplier to deliver to you? It has safety factors involved. It looks at the last period of sales. You set a period. You can say, how many of this item did I sell over the last 3 months? And then it sets minimum and maximum levels within your inventory. And it has a forecasting. And from the forecasting screen, you're able to automatically generate purchase orders to your preferred suppliers on all of those items with just the click of one button. So that's what we talk about when we're talking about automation. In terms of reporting, when you want to increase turnover, we're also able to analyze customer sales and trends real time. So we have sales analysis tools that'll look at our customers over a period, 3 months or 6 months or a year, and will show you which customers' sales have increased over that period, which customers' sales have decreased over that period, which allows you to make good management decisions on, should I be selling this item? Should I be marketing more to certain customers? It allows you to make those sort of decisions. The system will also allow you to manage and analyze lost sales. So as I said, we have reason codes now. So every time somebody goes in and cancels a quote or a sales order, it'll prompt them to put in a reason code. And then you are able to do analysis on that. You're able to see, why am I selling less of this product? Why is this salesperson having to lose so many sales? Is it because they don't have, is it because pricing's wrong, or they don't have access to be able to apply discounts? You can make those decisions, and you are able to then manage people accordingly. Again, we can automate reports. where we can do reports comparing revenue, GP levels, lost sales, upsellability in one dashboard. We can create one dashboard that can do that, and then you're able to manage staff through that. You are able to then direct behavior according to that. In terms of that upsell, an example would be, if you stick with the same thing, if you sell bicycles and you've got one salesperson who sells 10 bicycles a month, and then you've got another salesman who sells 7 bicycles a month, but with that, they sell 10 other items by upselling the helmet or the pump, things like that. So, and then who's the better salesman? To tell you the truth, I think it's the person who upsells. In terms of improving margins, some of the features that are within Palladium that do this is we have purchase price tolerances and drill downs. I think any business owner knows that as important as it is to get sales up within a company, procuring and making sure you're purchasing at the right price is equally as important. So we have tolerance levels that'll look when you are purchasing something, it'll look at what you paid for that same item the last time you bought it, and it'll tell you if you're paying, what percentage more you're paying for it. And if you set a tolerance that says don't allow payments of over 10%, it can block or create an authority level to be able to allow that purchase to go through. So again, just something that the system's doing in order that is, it's got nothing really to do with basic accounting. These are things that we have developed to try and ensure that the company is running profitably and as well as possible. We have user approvals for price and discount changes. I think that's self-explanatory. You can set approval levels. As I said, we're looking at developing those approvals to mobile, so the person doesn't have to actually be in Palladium in order to do it. We have in-screen real-time margins on sales documents. So on every one of our sales documents, every time you sell something, it will show you what the GP level is, and it'll show you what the sales amount is compared to the last received cost, and you can set those levels so that people cannot sell below a certain GP level. So you won't have staff inadvertently or advertently giving away margin in their rush to make a sale. We do freehand quoting as well. Freehand quotes it creates an efficiency which allows you to be able to do a quote for a customer without actually creating a customer on Palladium, and also gives you the ability to be able to quote on an item that you don't currently stock. You're able to create the item with a cost and a GP margin on it directly from the free quoting system. We have bulk requests for quotes. So what this does is that it allows you, when you're ordering a certain item and you have more than one supplier, you can send a request for quotes to the various suppliers. And then when you receive those quotes back, you are able to choose the best one, choose the right one, and approve it, and it'll automatically send a purchase order to that supplier. So very strong feature, again, making sure that you are purchasing properly within Palladium, and that your cost of sales is down to what it should be. Purchase order approvals I went through already. And then we have real-time effective consumer analytics. So again, being able to look at your customers, see who's buying from you, see who's not buying from you, make decisions about marketing or supply. Excuse me. So yeah, you're able to, as again, within Palladium, features that make it easier to run the business, making sure that you protect your margins and increase your turnovers. And then enhancing operational efficiency. What does this mean? This means making sure people aren't doing things unnecessarily, that people are not doing things twice or three times when it could be done only once. Just making sure that the company is running as effectively as possible. So Palladium uses best of breed technology. We offer cloud data hosting. We use the .NET Framework 4.5 architecture to write our programs, which is the latest Microsoft application. It runs on a SQL database. As you all know, I'm sure, SQL is an enormously powerful database, which allows you, it's a relational database, so it allows you to have very, very strong user security within the system, but also it allows you to do really, really strong reporting, being able to draw and extract information from various tables within the database and put them together into reports. So you end up spending less on infrastructure and certainly less on data instability, because the system does not have data corruptions. You will not lose data. Your system's not going to go down for hours at a time because you've had a power fluctuation. And you'll be able to work up, be able to have uptime and work at much longer levels. Please excuse me. So we've also included things like being able to manage outstanding PODs with integrated document management. The system will allow you to sign on your delivery notes. It'll automatically attach it to the invoice. And then you are able to send that out directly with a statement at the client's request, and it is always available to you. Now, we do supplier drop shipments. Supplier drop shipments allows you to order items from a supplier and then have that supplier deliver them directly to your customer. So the delivery address will not be yours as a company. You don't receive the stock in and then have to deliver it yourself. You are able on your purchase order to put the delivery address as the customers, and it'll get delivered straight there. We are also able to track changes to sales documents. In Palladium, you are able to adjust documents, all documents. You're able to do adjustments, but it has full audit trails. It'll show you exactly who did the change, when the change was made, what field was changed, was a line inserted or a line taken out. So you're able to track it exactly like that. Old systems do not have that ability. You would have to, in fact, if you had any way at all, you'd have to try and do some sort of audit trail to find it out manually. We're also able to set temporary credit limits for customers. So we all know the scenario where a customer comes in, he's at his credit limit, but you know that they're doing a big job or have a big contract and will be paid in a week or 2 weeks' time. So you can now in Palladium grant a temporary credit limit for them, which allows them to go and continue shopping up to that limit and then set an expiry date. So on the date that they have said they would pay, that limit will expire, and unless they've made the payment, they will then go into arrears, and you can choose to block their account or stop their sales. So in terms of operating efficiency, we also have reporting, unlimited reporting with BI. So this is our own BI within the system that we have created. For those of you who are used to the old Palladium Enterprise BI, which was like an old pivot table, OLED type of report. It was powerful, but it didn't look that good. Well, when you see the new Power BI and Palladium Premium, you'll be absolutely amazed. If any of you know Microsoft's Power BI, what the look and feel of that is, this is the same. Our BI allows you to create graphs, create views, refresh your data, create your own views, set up dashboards. It really is quite exceptional, and we will let you have a look at that shortly. And we manage through automated alerts. I have mentioned that already. So we're going to look now at Premium. We're going to look at some of the features of Palladium Premium. We're going to talk around these features and show you what is available in the Premium edition. We'll give you an idea, and then we'll talk about some of the development that we're still doing, which is still to be released. Palladium Premium will be released at the beginning of next month with these features that you see in it, and there is still other development going on above that. I'm going to ask Raymond to kick off with this. I'm sure you're all getting a bit bored of my voice, and my voice is getting a bit scratchy. So let's go.
Okay. So just to let you know where Palladium Premium fits in with already existing packages that we have, it is actually the most powerful we have right now. We still retaining our individual business and enterprise, and then now there will be a premium which will come with its own prices, but it's much more powerful than the other three packages that we had before. Okay, but it is still the same Palladium, still the same powerful Palladium we are used to. Okay, and then this would be the landing page or the home page for Palladium Premium. Okay, you can see that it's quite it's an eye candy, it's an eye catch. It's got on your landing page your nice dashboards there. It gives you informations, and you can drill down to the details of that information if you need to. All right, so it's quite nice over there. As you can see, if you were to need information, extra information on what that is, you can click on that and it'll give you more details on that. And then it also has graphs, pie charts, and all that information in terms of dashboards that you can get. That's the detailed part. Okay. It also has what we call offline point of sale, which is fully touch screen compatible. With this, you are able to do your point of sale, although your network is no longer there. With other systems, you get a situation where maybe the internet goes away if you're on a cloud solution, then you are unable to process for that particular time until the network comes back. With offline point of sale, you are able, or Palladium allows you to process your transactions, your POS transactions, until the network comes back. When the network comes back, it will do an automatic update to the main server. So that terminal that you'll be using will be working more like an offline and a standalone or pure point of sale terminal. And when the network comes back, it is able to now fully update the main server. Okay. And also on Palladium Premium, you are allowed, or you can do laybys. On laybys, some systems do not actually allow you to do laybys. You actually do sales orders instead of laybys. With Palladium Premium, you are able to do a full layby with all its capabilities. Okay. And it also, in your warehousing and your distribution, allows you to do multi-bins. where you can allocate certain inventory items to be into certain bins. And you can do multi-bin transfer, from transferring from one bin to another. And there's multi-bins can also be within warehouse. So you can transfer from one bin in a particular warehouse into another bin, which is in a different warehouse. It is a very powerful feature in terms of organizing your inventory well in your warehouses. And it also make your picking, your stock pick, very simple, because you know exactly which bin you're going to allocate to. When your people that do the stock pick go to do the picking, they don't have to go dilly-dally trying to look into the warehouse everywhere to see where the inventory is. They know exactly in which bin it is, and the bins are named sequentially, so they can just directly go to the right bin and do their picking. Okay. Viewing of related company inventory. On that, let me see.
So that essentially what that does is it allows you to switch between companies and view their inventory, view related company inventory. It's called intercompany operability. And really what it does is allow you to switch between companies without going out of one company into another one, and then view their inventory from there.
Okay. And then on our extended bulk label printing, it allows you, now Palladium allows you to do a bulk label printing on your inventory labels. And it also gives you more detail on the label printing itself. You are able to select different layouts on which labels you want to do, and do a bulk printing on that as well.
The item number convention lookup is quite a useful feature within your ordering and your sales area. So what it does is that instead of just looking at an item code or an item number when searching or when ordering, we now are able to search via an item number or an item description, and we are able to use other descriptions apart from the one that you use internally. So if you want to do your purchasing and you want to use your supplier's item code and item description, you have the ability to do that as well. And if you're selling to certain customers and who buy regularly from you, and you want to sell to them using their item numbers and item descriptions, you're able to do that at the same time. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same as the item code or the item description that you use internally.
Okay, and then multiple units of measure. This is also another feature that you get into the premium that you don't get in any other Palladium that we had. And also other systems do not offer you something like this, where you are able to buy or to have an inventory item, and when you do selling or buying, you are able to use multiple or different units of measure. So you can buy something in liters, or when you sell it up, you sell it in a different unit of measure, for example. Okay, so that is a very powerful thing, because now you can buy something in a pack or in a crate and sell it up in units, or sell it up in 6 packs or so forth. So you are able to create and manage multiple units of measure in there.
Yeah, very strong feature indeed. So item supersession, what this refers to is that if you have discontinued items and you don't want people to inadvertently order them or sell them, it'll suppress that item. So even if you have stock left of those, but there is a new item that has replaced it, it'll supersede that old item and automatically bring up the new item that you want them to sell.
Yes. And then alternate items. If you have, you're trying to sell an item and there are items that are alternative to that one, it also gives that as an option to the salespeople when they do those documents, and it brings them up as options, and they're able to give the customer they are presenting to an alternative option for the inventory that that they would like to sell.
Yeah, 100%. That works particularly well again in stationery stores where they sell many different items that do the same thing. IBT orders this refers to inter-branch transfers. The number of times people have asked us whether we could do this, that we just had to develop it. An inter-branch transfer allows you to transfer stock between branches and manage that. It'll take stock out of one branch. So when you do a purchase order in one branch, it'll create a sales order in the other, and it'll allow them to take stock. It'll put that stock into an in-transit warehouse. It'll put the cost of that stock into an in-transit warehouse so that you can report on that separately, and then you can GRV it into the new branch.
Yeah, that's very helpful in terms of company transfers. When you move or when you need to do transactions into one company into the next, you don't have to now get in, exit one company, do an order into the next company. So it automatically does that for you. Okay, improved accuracy. This is for our mobile WMS. Okay, so our mobile WMS allows you to now be mobile with it's a device that allows you to be scanning, doing GRVs on the move while you're in the warehouse. Okay, so it helps you very much with your inventory accuracy. So you are able to do a scan instead of doing manual capturing, moving from if you've got a big warehouse, for example, and the workstation is stationed somewhere at the entrance of the warehouse, you'd have to do a whole lot of moving. I'm pretty sure if you had a step counter there, you'd reach your goals quite quickly. But this would help you in terms of that. You've got your mobile WMS, you are able to scan the barcodes there and it updates the system right there and there. You are able to do your GRVs and so forth there.
Yeah, the mobile, currently the mobile WMS works on Android devices. So we use Zebra scanners, which is a locally made scanners, but it'll also work on Honeywell scanners or any other scanner that uses Android 6 or a more recent Android application. So certainly it's something that is very powerful. As Raymond said, it allows you to GRV stock in, it allows you to do your stock takes, it allows you to transfer between warehouses, it allows you to transfer between bins if you're using multi-bins. It'll also allow you to create a delivery advice. You can then scan stock that's been sold, that is on sales order, and put it into a dispatch bin to make sure that you've got your stock ready for picking and for delivery. So extremely powerful application. We've been running it for just over a year in a company that has helped us with the development of this. And certainly it's working extremely well at the moment.
And it also helps you in terms of picking. We all know about the paperwork that is involved in your stock pick. You have to print a paper with your stock pick, and the people that use the warehouse are going to have to go around marking with a pen, specifying what they've picked with the quantities there. But with the WMS, it eliminates all that. The paperwork is all gone, and it eliminates mistakes and papers getting lost. So everything as you do when you're busy with your scanning of the WMS devices, it updates the system right there and then, eliminating all paperwork altogether.
Good. So we created 2 mobile apps. Currently, they sit on the same platform, the WMS and our mobile sales app. The demand for this was enormous. And in fact, I think if we didn't do this, we would have lost sales, let alone just get new sales in. So our mobile sales app works on the same Android platform as does the WMS. It works on any device that runs Android 6 or more recent Android apps, tablet or phone or smartphone. And what it does essentially is that it empowers your sales team. It allows your sales team to be out in the market with a mobile device. They are able to do customer inquiries. They are able to do item inquiries per warehouse and see what stock levels are like. they're able to do quotes, they're able to do sales orders and reserve stock. The clients are able to sign to glass, so clients can sign sales orders as an approval method. And it allows them also to do some really cool things like submit claims, submit expense claims by taking a picture of the receipt that they have, and send it straight through to the head office in order to do that as well. So very strong, very attractive. You are able to track your sales team with this as well. So it has geotagging, which allows you to track your team, and obviously with the ability to switch it off after hours. So it'll switch off between 5 at night and 8 in the morning, and then over the weekend, because as my boss likes to say he doesn't care where I am on Friday nights.
And then it also has a very powerful CRM system that allows you to now interact with your customers even better. You are able to track every interaction you have with your customers on the system. You are putting it there, and it can give you all the statuses of all the activities and everything that you log regarding that particular customer and that CRM. It will also update the customer based on the processes or the workflows that you have captured on the system in terms of all the incidents that you've put together on the CRM.
Yeah, 100%. So it really is cool. So it's not just a means of creating a pipeline. It goes beyond that. Every single purchase and sales document in the system, you are able to allocate an activity to a customer from that.
And also a resource to that particular activity, so that when the customer comes through to inquire about that, they know exactly which resource or which consultant was dealing with that issue.
Okay, in terms of manufacturing, we already have an extremely strong manufacturing module within Palladium Enterprise. You guys know that we have work centers. We're able to allocate machinery costs, labor costs, utility costs to our bills of material. We are able to allocate to work in progress. We can issue work in progress per work center. We're able to partially close jobs. So on really big jobs where you're making 3,000 items, you're able to close at the end of each day and invoice the jobs that you have finished. So really strong. The soft bill of materials is a new feature within that. What that does is it allows you to create assemblies on the fly from sales documents. It allows you to change the raw materials that go into that finished product, the amounts that you use, without changing the actual bill of materials itself. In terms of Promtech integration, I think I mentioned this briefly earlier. Promtech is an international manufacturing software application, extremely powerful. It is used by some enormous companies who do manufacturing, and we have done an integration into that, which will then make sure that stock and stock value and stock usage is accurate, is still kept accurately within Palladium, even though we're using a third-party manufacturing app.
Okay, and we've also made some improvements when it comes to our general ledger and our journal entries transactions. Okay, now you are able to do a preview of your financials when you do your journal. So before you even post your general ledger, your journal entry, you are able to see the impact it's going to have on your financials. You are able to see how it's going to impact your income statement. You'll be able to preview how it will affect your trial balance and your opening balance basically. So before you do it, you see the before and the after the transaction. Okay, and you are also able to now do attachments on a line basis. Before, you could just do an attachment on the whole document, but now you are able to go into line level and do attachments. For cases, you've got absolutely too many lines, and some are not related at all, and each one needs a different supporting document. Okay, and you are able to now save your journals. You are able to capture a journal, save it for later processing or for later recording. Okay, so that is very helpful for those cases when you've got a very big journal, and the only time it will be recorded will be at the end of the month or at the end of the week. But you want to start your capturing early so that not you don't have to do it all in one day. Okay, and also reversing of journals. Okay, you are able to do a reversal of a journal that was done at an earlier stage, and even allocate or set up a time for a future time for when that journal is going to, or journal entry is going to be reversed. You are able to do that. And also formulas, journal formulas. Some journals are not as simple as just capturing a debit or a credit there. They actually include a formula that allows you to put together a formula that calculates what that debit is going to be like. So you are able to put in a formula in there, and it will automatically put it into the debit or the credit based on the formula that you've come up with.
Brilliant, brilliant, very strong feature that. Intercompany orders, again, this is e-business. This allows you to do intercompany transfers. You're able to order across companies within your group. You're able to automatically create a purchase order, which will then generate a sales order in the other company and facilitate the transfer of stock and orders between those two companies. We also have intercompany operability just within Palladium now, that if you have related companies and you have the same username and password across those companies, you don't have to shut down the one company to go into the other one and start looking around or doing transactions. You can automatically swap between those companies. It just increases efficiency astronomically. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it saves time as well. Another thing that we have that is an improvement is now the trade creditors recons. You are able to now do your recons for your suppliers as well. You can look at the statements that they send you, and also make sure that the system, which is a Palladium Premium, also corresponds with what your creditors or your suppliers are saying as well. That just ensures that all creditor accounts are reconciled and ensure that all liabilities are recorded to avoid unnecessary surprises. You don't want a situation where some suppliers are telling you that you owe them some money and there's invoices that need to be paid without you being aware of that. So this helps you with your preparedness in that as well. Okay, and we also have a contract management module that allows you to also track the contracts that you have with your other suppliers. For example, if you've got a Vodacom contract for all your salespeople for your phones, you need to know when they need to be paid. You need to know how they're being paid, and you need to know when they will be settled. That contract management module will allow you to track that, will allow you to track all your contracts, just like that.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It, as you say, it avoids surprises, but also it allows you to be able to plan properly and to ensure that you're reporting that what you're saying is what your GP is at the end of the month is actually your GP. So in terms of business tools, Palladium's always been big on business tools, being able to have periphery applications and modules within the system that allows you to make decisions properly. So we had a look at the dashboards. There was a slide earlier showing you what the dashboards is. Those dashboards can be customized per user so that the user is actually getting to see information that is relevant to themselves. Yeah, on the fly. So really, really important, not just how many sales has a salesman made, but also how many lost sales does he have for the month. So it gives you a really good picture of what you need to see. on what that person needs to see in order to operate properly.
And then business alerts. On business alerts, it's something that we all had before, but we're using a third party for it. This allows you to, or allows the system to go into the back end and give you certain notifications when certain milestones are reached, or when if you need an email sent at an interval, you can set that up on business alerts. So now Palladium has got its own business alerts. You are able to set that up and say, for example, if statements need to be sent out, you can actually create a business alert for that, and it will send them out automatically by the period that you've set it up there. And it can also do communication with your customers and your creditors, depending on how you set it up.
Excellent. So yeah, we did speak about POD document management, very important in terms of cash flow, very important in terms of credit control. So the system is set up, it's compatible with our mobile. You're able to create delivery advices from sales orders. You're able to get them signed. They will then be stored in the system, and you are able to then send them to customers when you do your statements. They will automatically be there. No more days of boxes full of PODs that you have to scratch through.
Yeah, and that should help you extremely well when it comes to your debt collection as well. Since there's a signed POD there, it means that the service or the product was received well. And then when it comes to our BI, there's now a nice BI, business intelligence tool that we have. It's no longer like the one that you had before that just looked like a stale pivot table before. Now you are able to include your visualizations. You can put in your pie charts there and your pie graphs, your bar graphs in there to put in your data and to show off your data well. It is now in Palladium Premium. You are able to create your own BIs in there. You are able to create your own visualizations within Palladium without looking into a third-party software.
Okay, so we're getting to the end. I mentioned this earlier, and I want to go into it a bit more. The Magento integration. This is really this is an e-commerce tool. It's something we have so many requests from our customers to say, can you integrate with our web store, or what web store must I create and that'll talk to Palladium? So we actually went and we've created a direct integration with Magento. If you know Magento, it's probably one of the best web store designing tools in the world.
Absolutely.
It'll allow you to set up business to business or business to consumer direct sales. It'll allow you to set up a look and feel that suits your company and put your logos in there. But the real benefit is with the integration to Palladium, it means that you only have to manage Palladium and the store will update itself. So you are able to go into your inventory, update your inventory items, add images, and it'll automatically pull that up to your web store.
That helps a lot in terms of you do not have to now manage two systems, one for the website and now one for your ERP. They are both one thing. When you update the ERP, it also updates Magento. If you update something in Magento, it also talks to your ERP system, which is Palladium and Premium.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, it really, the look and feel is really good. It allows you to set up inventory categories. So on your landing page on your web store, you can have 3 categories. It might be sports goods, hardware, whatever it may be. And then as you drill down into those, it'll take you into different levels. It'll open different levels of inventory items that you'll be able to view as well.
And it also allows you to have your customers how you like them to be. It could be customers that you already have, that you have contracts with, and it could be just a walk-in customer as well. Somebody just walked in, they are not a customer of yours, and they can capture that details on Magento, and it will update the ERP.
100%. So we're also looking at including an integration which will allow us to accept payments from credit cards or bank cards or different types of payment methods.
M-Pesa.
Or e-wallet. So we're looking at integrating that as well, which will just make the whole process even easier. Okay, workshop module. This is the final one. The workshop module, funnily enough, was the first feature that we were going to start developing to put into premium. Unfortunately, other things took over and other things became more important. And as it is with development, we started fixing other things and creating other things for important clients. And before you knew it, the workshop module has now turned out to be the last thing that is going to be added to premium. But this is a very specific application, a very specific module. A workshop module always used to be standalone applications. It applies to industries like motor garages, hardware industries where they repair hardwares, or where they do light manufacturing jobs. It applies to that. So what it does, it allows you to track service and repair jobs.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to accept an item in, a motor car in, create a service item out of that, and then allocate parts, allocate time from a technician to it in order to track the whole service and repair process.
And you're also allowed, it allows you to generate quotes per job. So for that particular customer that came in for that particular service, you are able to generate a quote without leaving this module, without going out in there, generate a quote that is related to that service. And once it's accepted, you are able to move forward and accept service.
So we've, as you can see, we have done an absolute enormous amount of development over the last 2.5 years. And we've really worked hard to get this product out, to get it launched so that you guys have access to it. But for the next 4 months, until the end of January next year, we are putting a total freeze on development. We will not be doing any more development. We will not be taking on any more development requests. The reason for this is twofold. There are still some features that we need to finish developing to go into this premium product. And the second one is that we have promised our clients and prospective clients that Palladium would become a full browser-based cloud version of Palladium. So not just we host your database in the cloud, but you need a Palladium client on your PC to access it. Now in future, you will be able to access Palladium via a browser, via any device. Hooray for the Apple users. So they'll be able to access Palladium via iOS going forward. But in order to do this, we have to change all of the forms within Palladium to a new architecture. It's a WMS architecture, and it's a massive job. We have been at it for a couple of months already, but in order to get this out by the end of by the beginning of next year, we're going to have to apply ourselves totally to this job. So there won't be a development until the end of January, but at the end of January, you will be able to have a cloud version of Palladium and be able to access it via a browser. Okay, so the road ahead, I mentioned that there were a number of developments that we needed to finish. A couple of sneaky clients got in their requests before we shut down. We put the freeze on the development, so we did say that we would have these finished as well. Of those, we're going to look at FIFO stock. Currently, as you know, we use moving average as our valuation method and method, but it's becoming more and more common for FIFO stock method to be used in accounting packages, so we're going to be changing to that. We're also going to develop CapEx budgeting to be able to budget for capital expenditure. We're going to be able to accommodate supplier rebates. A lot of queries came through on this. A lot of suppliers demand their rebates according to the volumes that they deliver to you. We're going to have mobile approvals as well. So this is where there's authorizations or approvals to be done. Currently, you need to go into Palladium and do those approvals, but we're looking at putting that on the mobile app as well, so that the boss can actually be on the golf course and still approve the payment.
Yes, and another thing that was requested is the improved data conversion. So the current data conversions that we have moving from Pastel to Palladium, we are going to be making improvements on that, and also we're thinking of including other systems that are there out there to convert all their data into a Palladium database. And also doing Android and OS point of sale. At the current moment, we have a Windows one, so we are going to be moving also into the Android and going into the iOS space as well.
Okay, customer self-service and automations. We're moving to a different forms design. We're going into active reports. Currently, Palladium uses Crystal Reports. Crystal Reports is a bit of a dog. It's a bit difficult to do forms customization, and customers, unless they buy a certain app, can't do it themselves. But with Active Reports is a Microsoft product, and with all of our reports and premium now being on Active Reports, what it'll mean is that our customers will be able to customize their own reports and do changes to their own reports. In terms of data analytics and the Internet of Things, this just goes back to where technology is going, where we are going in terms of business and business management. Data analytics is where it's happening. To be able to extract data from your system, to put it into a coherent view, and allow it to be accessible to management in order to make decisions. And that's the Internet of Things. That's what it does. It allows you to be able to pull things in and make good decisions in terms of your business.
Okay, so in summary, to cover everything that we did with Palladium Premium that we have, we know you are giving you time, reduced errors, and giving you stability and assurance in your ERPs and in your business.
Okay, guys, thanks. So it's a lot to get your head around. I understand that. There's an enormous number of features and it could seem quite intimidating. But we will, once the product is properly launched, we will put a demo version on our website, so you'll be able to go in and have a look. And I've got no doubt that there are features here that you are going to see as something that'll help your business. And certainly we can start talking about how we're going to do that with you. So the last thing today is we're going to go over the Palladium payroll. We're not going to go very in depth. We're just going to give you an overview of it. And Javesh will then also indicate to you what you need to do if you're interested in this. And if you would like a demo or you would like to know about the pricing, he will indicate that to you.
Thank you very much, guys. We'll be handing over to Javesh now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I trust everyone is doing well today. My name is Javesh. I'm a Palladium accounting and payroll consultant. I'm just going to give you a brief overview on the Palladium payroll. The Palladium payroll is a fully cloud-based software which enables you to access your database from anywhere, whether it be through a mobile phone or alternatively through a laptop. On Palladium payroll, we focus on the convenience for our customers. So basically, the way we've developed it is to merely allow our customers to have easy navigation tools. You do not require any installation or any IT costs for setups. Palladium was developed and tested thoroughly to suit the South African legislation. I'm going to give you more information on the Palladium payroll with regards to the legislation. It's a fully SARS compliant software right? It has multiple tax methods, which include your directed directives, your foreign income, as well as your SARS statutory tables. We also look at the up-to-date tables, as well as it accommodates for the monthly, weekly, fortnightly pay cycle. A very nice feature that we have as well on the Palladium payroll at no additional cost is basically the ESS system, which allows employees to administrate their very own details, whether it be applying for leave online, viewing their pay slips online, as well as viewing the various workspace that Palladium payroll has. Oh, I continue with that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run you through a quick demo of the Palladium payroll, just to show you how easy the navigation tools are on the Palladium payroll, and so you can get a better understanding with regards to our predefined SaaS transactions, with regards to our EMP 201, our EMP 501, as well as our RP5 export files respectively. I'm just going to share my screen with you guys. Just give me a second. Sorry about that. I'm just getting tools. Yeah, just to get to the browser. This quickly. Second. All right, so everyone can view my screen. So the web address which you can visit for the Palladium payroll will be www.palladiumpayroll. Sorry about that. All right, so this is basically our login screen where you are able to register for a free 30-day account, as well as if you have forgotten your account details, you are able to click on the forgot password and you will get an authentication email. For now, I'm just going to log into my account. So this is basically the Palladium payroll. I'm just going to utilize one of my test companies, which I have created. As you will view, the Palladium workspace has an easy way of navigating your way around the software with regards to payslip processing, viewing employee payslips, viewing the various SARS statutory reports, as well as adding tasks on the system as well. We also have a very nice feature which shows you the timesheet as to when the UIF is required to be submitted, the EMP 201 is required to be submitted, RP5, return on earnings, and when your payroll needs to be run. Bear in mind that my payroll cycles run from the 1st to the 31st of the specific month. However, this can be customized on the payroll cycle setup because some businesses pay, let's say for instance, they work from the 25th of the previous month, 25th of the next month, and they pay on the following day of the closing date. We also have the event calendar, like I've mentioned to you as well, where you're able to view when the various submissions are due. I'm just going to run you through a brief summary of the Palladium payroll. So basically on the create new company screen, this is where you are able to create a new company. Bear in mind that on Palladium payroll, you are able to have as many databases as you require. The employees are not limited to each database, as if you purchase, let's say for instance, 20 employees can be used within all of these databases. Now, On our menu screen, I'm just going to run through the admin. User creation. When I click onto the user creation screen, this enables me to add various users on the Palladium software, as well as able to assign certain access rights for these specific users in terms of payslip processing or processing functionalities. The import utility on the Palladium payroll allows you to import your employee master file. You know, many payroll softwares don't really provide you with the import file where you're able to import your employees' details to make it much more easier, much more simpler for you to get your payroll up and running. As we know, Palladium payroll should be basically a fairly simple setup. On the access rights screen, this is where you are able to choose the various access rights of the users in which you have created, whether it be default employee, based on what I've mentioned to you on the ESS system, as well as the manager. Now we have a three-step basically authentication, or should I say access rights control, where an employee can have a manager and a manager can have a head manager with regards to applying or alternatively approving leave for these specific employees. On the company settings, this is where you are able to view the general details of the specific company. These details are obviously provided to you by SARS directly, and you are able to create your company representative, which would be the owner of the company, and your payroll setup to choose the various payroll cycles that you have for your various employees. On the designations, this is basically a designation to a head department. So for instance, if you have an accounting department and a specific employee is a data clerk within the accounting department, this is where you're able to add their designation. On the payroll cycle, this is where you are able to choose their monthly, weekly, and fortnightly payroll periods. On the company settings fund types, this is where you are able to set up your pension fund, your provident fund, your retirement annuity fund, etc., for the various employees. Also stating the company which is providing these specific funds to the employee. On the payment type screen, this is where you are able to choose what type of payment it is, whether it be cash, check, electronic transfer, or any other method of payment which the employee receives. Could be e-wallet. Palladium has a very nice feature as well with employee codes, where you are able to have an automatic generation of employee codes, or alternatively, you are able to set up your very own employee codes for your various employees. On the SARS descriptive codes, this is a very, very nice feature. This enables you to create a predefined earning, deduction, company contribution, as well as fringe benefit, and also enables you to choose the various parameters within this specific code, which SARS actually requires, should it not be within the list of Palladium payroll. On the payslip display setup, this is where you are able to view on the payslip. If you don't want to view, let's say for instance, the company contribution, if you uncheck this option, you will not view the company contribution on the employee's payslip respectively. On the tax calculator screen, this basically enables you to simulate a payslip for a specific employee to choose what their basic will be and what their net pay will be after tax, taking into consideration if they do get a basic, an annual bonus, they do get a commission, a travel allowance, etc. Obviously, commission, pardon me for that, will not fall part of this because commission varies from month to month. On the next screen we're going to run through is our employees screen. This is where you are able to create the various employees to basically set up their pay periods, their codes, their physical addresses. So these are basically the important information which is required before we move on to the next step. I'm going to show you one of my pre-existing employees. All right, this is where you're able to set up their payment information. So how do they get paid? This is very important to have because this is information that the bank report file will require in terms of the account number, whether it's the joint account, own account, and the specific bank, which needs to be specified. On the work information screen under the employee master file, this is where you are able to choose the employee's hourly rate, if the employee gets paid per hour, if the employee gets paid per day, and you're also able to add an annual salary for the employee and will automatically calculate. If I update this to 150,000, automatically you will see what my monthly salary is, my rate per day, and my rate per hour. This can also be selected on your standard working days, where the employee works Monday to Friday, should the employee be required to work on a Saturday, but this is not part of the normal working schedule, you are able to add overtime. We've got a very nice feature as well, which is the employee self-service. This is where you are able to, on the user creation screen, assign an access role to this employee, along with their email addresses, etc., for them to go online and administrate their very own payroll, whether it be for applying for leave, whether it be managing leave, or viewing their payslips. On the leave information, this is if you are coming over from a previous software onto previous payroll software onto Palladium payroll. This is where you are able to put in your take-on balances for your leave, and this is where you're able to put in your take-on balances for your year-to-date figures from your previous software by clicking onto add, and you will select them. On the tax information screen, you will then specify the employee tax number. You will then specify the tax method, which I've mentioned to you. These are all calculated differently from the SARS statutory tables. You are also able to add a private medical aid. You are also able to add a private retirement annuity. And you also have the option to select whether this employee is eligible for ETI, which is Employment Tax Incentive. Basically enabling employers to employ the younger youth. Moving on, we then go on to loan information. We have a very nice feature as well. As you can see, this employee had taken a lot of loans. Hopefully he pays it back. So basically on the loan type, you then select the type of loan it is. You select the start date of the loan, able to put the number of repayments as well as the loan amount. So if you put the loan amount over there and you put the current repayment, it will automatically calculate the number of repayments to pay off the loan. We have the garnishee function where you are able to choose a garnishee as well as put in the start date of the garnishee and along with the monthly amount. And we also have a feature where most companies have some saving plan for their employees on a month-to-month basis, and they pay it out, let's say, for instance, when the employee does request for it. And we do have the employee document section. This basically allows you to attach the employee's ID, the employee's certificates, whether it be the degree, diploma, etc. Moving on, a very nice feature as well that Palladium provides to our clients. On the timesheet, you are able to import a timesheet from a biometric machine, or alternatively, you can administrate it manually by, let's say, for instance, a specific employee, let's just assume Jivesh, did not work the full month of September. And you want to go in and you want to select, okay, that instead of working 8 hours, this employee had worked 5 hours for the day. And automatically, when you create the payslip for the specific employee, the 3 hours will not be included in their remuneration. Moving on to our payslip processing screen. This is where you are able to select and navigate your way around in terms of choosing the specific payroll cycle, choosing the employee in question that you need to do the payslip run for, and you are able to also apply for, basically add leave, whether it be annual sick, family responsibility, etc., on the screen over here as well. Given a from date and to date, or alternatively, if it's the same date, you can state over there whether it be a full day, first half, or second half of a specific day, where only a certain amount, or let's say if the employee works 8 hours, 4 hours will then be deducted off their salary. You will then go onto the deduction screen where it calculates your PAYE. Very nice as well, the way it's structured, the way it's set out, to basically give you assurance on how is your PAYE calculated for this employee, along with your UIF and that specific loan amount which we've added, which I have added prior rather. The company contributions, as we know, STL, UIF, etc., is contributed by the company as well. The STL is a company solely company contribution, and the UIF is basically the employee and employer contribution. Moving on, once you have processed the entire batch for a specific pay cycle, you are able to choose the payroll cycle, and here you are able to process that specific payroll cycle's batch for it to pull through on your EMP 201, EMP 501, as well as your RP5 reporting respectively. We now move on to a very, very important aspect of the Palladium software, the statutory reports, as we know, which is the EMP 201, which is the EMP 501, and the RP5 export. So if I click onto my EMP 201, I will then just select the specific month I want to do my submission for, followed by clicking onto OK for the EMP 201. Automatically, it will generate a report for me to show me at the bottom over here how much should be paid to SARS. We also have the UIF export, which is imported directly into U-filing and not directly into e-filing or easy-file respectively. We have the IRP5 export, which is your biannual and your annual export, basically, for you to submit your employees' RP5s and to do payments to SARS for reconciliation purposes, as well as your EMP 501, which is your biannual and annual submission. We've also got a very nice feature called the bank export. As I mentioned to you, we have most of the major banks over here. Should we not have a specific bank, you are able to add it on the company settings. And you're able to select the specific bank that you want to be paid out from, and you're able to select payroll cycle. And then when you click onto bank export, automatically, it will automatically create a TXT file format for you to basically import into your into your banking app software. When we go onto our payroll reporting, we have a screen where we can view our various employees' pay slips. So I'm just going to view one of the employees' pay slips after processing. You can, from on this screen over here, choose the employee code as well as choose the processing period for that specific employee. We have also a very nice feature where you are able to email the employee's payslip based on the set parameters on the master file. This is currently the format of the Palladium payroll payslip. Obviously, should you require a different format, we will then be able to customize it on demand for you. But this is basically the standard format that we have. It pulls through all your year-to-date totals, company contributions, as well as all the important information that banks will require in the event that the employee has to go through for a specific loan or whatever the case may be for personal reasons. So basically, that's the end of the Palladium payroll training. I'm just going to go through one more feature that Palladium payroll has on the ESS system. I just want you guys to have a look and feel of the ESS system. Basically, see how easy it is to navigate on it as well. So I'm just going to log off my user. I'm going to log in with one of my users which I have created. I'm sorry about that. All right, this is basically where I will go into my specific ESS system, where I can click on to add. I can select what type of leave I want to take. I can select which day I want to take it. So if I select from the 17th to the, let's assume, sorry, from the 18th of September to, let's say, for instance, to the 19th of September, this is where you are able to basically add in the reason as to why the leave was requested, followed by save. And once this has been added, the manager will get prompted to either approve or reject the specific leave. On the payslip screen, this is where you are able to view the payslip for your employee, and you're able to choose the specific cycle. And this is where you are able to manage your leave. Sorry about that, I don't have any details in here, but this is where you'll be able to view your employee rather will be able to view when he had applied for leave from, and he's also able to delete the leave should anything change in the interim. All right, so if you need any further information on the Palladium payroll software, please feel free to email support@palladium.co.za, or alternatively contact us on 011 568 2900, and one of our friendly support consultants will be able to assist you to get you going. Thank you.
Thanks, Javesh. Okay, guys, thanks very much. I know it's been a bit of a long session, information overload. Everybody who attended the session will receive an email just to thank you for your attendance. There will also be a link there which will give you access to the presentation itself. But I want you then to use the opportunity, if you have any questions or if you need any assistance, please just give us a shout. All of our contact details are as you know them, so you can get hold of us at sales@palladium.co.za or at support@palladium.co.za, and we'll be able to assist you from then, or just call in, just phone in. Our office number is 011 568 2900. Once you've got hold of us, we'll be able to help you from there. So thanks very much. Really appreciate the time that you've taken out. I hope you got some value out of this, and I hope you can understand the power that this new system is going to be able to provide both to your companies and other companies. Thanks, guys.